Okay, guys, let's try Leo. Love, we're going to call it rest of March through April 2023, and or whenever you resonate with this. Feel free to like, share, follow, comment, subscribe, and share for a one-on-one reading as always. You guys are doing well. Okay. Spirit, anything for Leo? Let's have a fun and exciting reading. Rudy, what the reading? One second. Just wanted to turn on the air. It's kind of warm in here. What else comes out of here? Okay, I see victory here. Someone might be taking up the role as a King of Pentacles. Okay, even though there's no communication, it's almost as if someone is using this time to get their money right. Okay? It's like they're staying put, they're going within. I always read the King and the Queen as like different masculines, but within the same person. Like the action steps are coming across as the Queen of Wands, whereas the more so physical kingdom is coming across as King of Pentacles. Okay? Now you're open to different forms of action here if there are through lines established here. Okay? But you're not really necessarily wanting to overexert. You're more so willing to settle for something that's on your path, something that's meant to be. I'm not getting that you're going to allow any kind of ancillary or extracurricular circumstances, knock you off your hinges here, is what I'm getting. I feel as though that, like, if a person is really meant for you, they're going to meet you where you're at. They're going to see the value of who you are, where you're at. Okay? The Magician in the reverse is like something being on track here. Okay, meaning you don't have to like overexert yourself or try to manifest something entirely. It's already fated or meant to be for you. Because I could see that in your mind, the relationship, it can be kind of, needy as far as the resources that are required to be in one. Okay? You may have experienced that already. It's almost as if you're only waiting for like the creme de la creme, like really high caliber connections. And so thematically, we've been speaking a lot to, these energetic deserts that you have been having to move through. And I can see that you're moving through them, successfully. You see the desert imagery in the background here. And you're navigating through them successfully. Yes, you might be getting a little antsy and frustrated, but, I'm still seeing that it's in this way, in this capacity, that you're actually going to meet your equal here. And I'm also getting that you're only settling for high caliber twin flame frequencies as far as connections, because in your understanding, you want to affect change, you want to influence, you want to send ripple effects, and you understand that the person that you do that with, is very kind of, how do you say, it's very important, and so you're willing to take your time. But I see this sudden change here, okay, out of the blue, this opportunity, maybe some sort of like understanding or aha moment, hits you. Okay? What's this competition here, Spirit? What's this competition? I see an energy of competition with the 5 of rods in the upright. Because I don't see you being someone that wants to compete for something. You want someone that's going to want to meet you in the middle. I'm not seeing that you're just going to want to throw resources away. Okay? Yeah, I just feel like Spirit is telling you, like, just a little bit longer, wait, be patient, like they're dumping, water on your engine, so to speak. Yeah, and I think you know well enough to, again, not try to vie for the past, okay, no matter how you feel about it, okay? Yeah, I just feel like your energy is just moving in the new, hook, line, and sinker. Okay, even though you feel like maybe you don't have all the resources established, you're still manifesting as much as you can for your highest partner, is what I'm seeing here. Okay? Wish fulfillment. And yet I can't help but see that you're either pulling in a timeline or a compatible partner that is going to pick up where you last left off, or it's going to allow you to pick up where you last left off with your skills, okay, or your understanding of a connection or what a relationship should do. Okay, you might also come across as a very influential component if there's like family or friends that this person that you pull in has ties to. Yeah, I see success here. I see wish fulfillment and success. And there's really not any other action that you have to take. The only other thing that I would say is that, like, see this time as a time to create and don't fall back into the cup. For me here is an offer of time. Okay, time and space. And you might interpret that as negative, but I really feel that Spirit is asking you to interpret that as fun and playful and a positive, because you have all the space to create. But I feel as though that if you're mindful, then you could kind of defrag this kind of self-sabotage tendency, because I feel as though that there's a tendency to want to, pout or self-destruct, or, when you're being ignored emotionally, there's a tendency to kind of like be mad or rage or destroy. But I think what you're being asked is to find healthier ways of coping with that. Okay? And I think, it starts with like these healthy expressions as opposed to reverting back to, drinking, smoking, destructive behaviors, things of that nature. Okay, I just feel like this reality is consolidating and you will be offered something. But again, you're being asked to kind of raise your approach as to how you interpret what you're going through. The 9 of Cups and the upright. See, there's comfort and then there's actually like discomfort. Angry, mad versus like, okay, cool, I got this. I know how to, exercise these demons. Okay, anything else, Spirit? Anything else? I think a lot of it comes from you feel as though that there are some people very close to you that don't give you any sense of like dignified worth, and there's some sort of like expectation that's like, but it's a misnomer, it's a misinterpretation, right? It's like, it's almost as if it's some sort of like inherited war that you got from your mom or your dad, or for me, for my example, just to give you a concrete example, like my father doesn't call me. He doesn't have the capacity to pick up the phone and call and check in on me. And that's just a reflection of like where he's at. He thinks that it's like all is well as good. He's out of the house and whatever, and that his job is done. He's a very like selfish, unaware being. Whereas my mom is the total opposite. So then, for me, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place, as in the middle of them, and so I've kind of inherited her resentment and bitterness towards him, but something that I could do as far as a mindful approach is to keep on understanding that that's where I need to open my heart. I can't mirror her closed offness and her bitterness and her hatred and her anger because it's just energy. So why would I have my mental kind of vehicle comprise a closing down of my heart? And that's where the kind of battlefield is like, do you revert to anger and resentment and what have you, or do you really truly kind of empower yourself and train yourself to open up and open your heart? And I really think that that's what the answer is unconsciously, because think about it, if you're existing like me, away from family, friends, in another state, and your father doesn't call you, well, why would you even have the assumption that he would? Because you feel like that's a general accepted appropriate behavior of your version. Keyword, it's only your version of what a quality parent would do, a quality father would do. But you have to throw that logic and reason out. And that's where I think quantum creating is in the spiritual realm to the 3D, is because the longer you let those energies fester of embittering you, then that's room that you lose for opening up and being magnanimous and being open and open-hearted. And so what you're feeling is maybe some sort of feedback loop, so you just have to nip it in the bud. If it's just more energy, burn it out in a workout or change it in your perspective, or if it's fear or frustration, the answer is never the prevailing outside circumstances. The answer is always the inside. You have to stop trying to make logic and reason and sense out of this illogical reality. And so when you do that, when you realize that, then you know that what you're left with is just the feeling. And you can feel happy, excited, happy, whole and complete, open-hearted, joyous, expansive, all that stuff, good here and now. And you don't need an external reason. You've become the source. You've become the reason. So you give love to your heart. You give yourself everything that you want and you need. You tell yourself that you already are everything that you want and you need, and you're happy, whole, and complete. And that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day, in every given moment. And tell yourself, as time moves on, as you continue to exist, you're strengthening this, you're growing stronger with this. It's the only thing that matters. I promise you, the feeling that you have within yourself. Don't trust the mind. The mind is going to try to make sense out of something that is not going to change. Okay, it's going to try to make sense out of something that doesn't add up. And so if you feel like you are, between the spiritual world and the physical realm, well, then you might as well be in the realm that is most empowering to you, which is the internal spiritual realm, which you rule, and you're the emperor there, you're the god there. And so you interpret that as, okay, I'm open, I'm expansive, pronoia, it's all in my favor, it's all falling into place, it's all falling for me, not against me, and, and there's that internal victory. The victory comes from within yourself, first and foremost, okay? Where you're focused on the quality that you're creating, and you're not worried on this bitterness level frequency because you've overcome that. Instead of bitterness or whatever, you're choosing happiness either way. I'm happy, I'm whole, and I'm complete. I evaluate you, I see what you're doing as non-acceptable, so I totally dismiss you as a relevant entity, and I choose to be happy anyways. Happy, whole, and complete. And you have to really sometimes speak to it, but when you do that, you give yourself personal freedom, no matter what. If it's my neighbors, if it's my dad, if it's my mom, if it's my uncles, I'm still happy, whole, and complete. And look at, he's open-hearted. That's the key there. Open and expansive. Okay? And there's just a lot of potent symbolism there. And when you continue to be open, And that's when you receive your blessings in your incoming communication. And the distraction gets cleared away and you manifest in this dimension. But you got to keep on saying, keep on throwing out the personal, keep on throwing out the thing that tries to make sense and reason, and keep on operating on the level of opening your heart. The answer is always to open your heart. All right, Leo, let's jump into Virgo's energy and see what wants to come out. As always, I'm available for a one-on-one read. Thanks for spending time. Holler at your boy. Love you guys. Peace.